Hi, and welcome to my video on the review of maximum minimum word problems, level 1. And this review has two word problem, one max, one min, and the total for this review treated as the quiz is 16. And let's work some problems out. This is the maximum problem that I decided to give. Find the maximum area of a triangle whose sum of twice its height and 6 times the base is 120. We want to find the maximum area. So, if we have a triangle, and the triangle has a base, which is here, and it has a height, which is here. So the area of a triangle is half the base times the height. So, that's the base and height. But what we're going to do is use x's and y's instead of b and h's. So I'm going to just redraw this again. So I'm going to let the height be y and the base be x. So the area of a triangle is going to be a half base, which is x, times the height, which is y. Now we have the sum is twice the height, and again the height is twice the height plus 6 times the base, but the height is y and the base is the x, so the sum is 120. So we have 2y plus 6x equals 120. So here the area is a function of x and y. Here this equation got x and y, so if we solve this equation for y, and divide by 2, we get y is negative 3x plus 60, so the area is a half x, and y is negative 3x plus 60. Now, instead of the area being a function of x and y is negative 3x plus 60, so the area is now a function of x. So half times negative 3 is a negative 3 over 2x squared plus 30x. So the area is a function of x. And again, we're doing this problem by calculus, so let's get the derivative of a prime. So negative 3 over 2 times 2 is negative 3. Decrease the power by 1, and the derivative of 30x is plus 30. And we let the derivative equal to 0, because that's the maximum area where the derivative is going to be 0. So we're going to get this value of x, where if we let the derivative equal to 0, I want to get the slope of the tangent at where the derivative slope of the tangent is 0. So negative 3x plus 30 equals 0. Negative 3x equals negative 30. Divide by negative 3, x is 10. So I have two choices. I can sub the 10 into right here and get the maximum area. Or I can get y and then multiply using this formula to get the area. So either or, so y is negative 3x plus 60. So y is negative 3 times 10 plus 60, negative 30 plus 60. So y is 30. So that means the area is a half of x times y. And x is 10. Y is 30. So that's 5 times 30 is 150. And again, it's in feet. So this is 10 feet. This is 30 feet. And this is square feet. And I could have taken the 10 and put the 10 in here, and I would have come up with 150 without getting what the height was. And there's 8 marks here. So if you come up with the parameter equation, right here, you get a mark. If you come up with the parameter equation and solved it out. So there's the parameter equation. You solved it out for y. You got the area equation. If you subbed it in here, you did your derivative and you worked out there's your derivative. Prime worked out here, you get a mark. If you worked out the 10, let your derivative equal to 0 and got your 10. You worked out your y and then you got your area. So it's 8 mark. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And there's one more wherever you want to give it. There's 8 altogether. So different spots to give your coming down through. Okay, let's do another one. With that was the maximum, let's do the minimum. Find the sum of two numbers is 10. Find the minimum sum of their squares. So we have two numbers, so we'll let x be one number, and we'll let y be the other number. So there's two numbers. So the sum of the two numbers, the sum of the numbers is x plus y. So that means the sum of the numbers is 10, so 10 equals x plus y. And like normal, we can solve this equation for 4. So y equals negative x plus 10. And it says find their minimum sum of their squares. So the sum of their squares. So if the numbers are x, is x squared plus y squared. So the minimum sum is, we got x and y. So the sum is x squared and y is negative 10. Negative x plus 10 being squared. So there's the sum of the two numbers. Now we have y in terms of x. Sub the x value of negative 10, negative x plus 10 in the place of y. Now we have the sum is x squared. Squared is out. Negative x squared is x squared. Multiply negative x by 10 and double it, negative 20x. And 10 squared is 100. So the sum is 2x squared minus 20x plus 100. So the sum, if that's the sum, now the sum is a function of x. So we do the derivative, which is the slope of the tangent. And derivative is, right here, we're going to go 2 times 2 is 4x. Derivative of negative 10x is negative 20x is negative 20. Derivative constant is 0. So if we let the derivative s prime be equal to 0, so that's where the slope of the tangent is 0 on the horizontal line. So 4x minus 20 equals 0. 4x equals 20. X is equal to 5. So that gives us the value of x, gives us the minimum sum of the squares. So we want to get the y value. So y is equal to negative 10x, negative x plus 10. So y is equal to negative 5 plus 10. So y is equal to 5. So the sum of the squares is x squared plus y squared. So x is 5 being squared, y is 5 being squared, 25 plus 25. So the minimum sum is 50. Again, I could have taken the right here and plugged in. I could have plugged 5 right in here if I wanted to. Again, right there. I could have said S is 2, 5 squared, 20 times 5 plus 100. I could have put 5 in here. I didn't have to get what y is. I just wanted the minimum sum. So if we plugged it in here, that's 25, that's 100, and that's, excuse me, 50 minus 100 plus 100, I get 50. So you're going to get x, then get y and plug it in, or you can get x in here directly to get the 50. 8 marks altogether, so 1 mark for this, 1 mark for the sum, 1 mark for the substitution, and 1 mark for coming up with this equation. 1 mark for the 5, 1 mark for this 5, and a mark for the sum. And hopefully we have 8 marks. There's 8 marks going on here somewhere. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and for the final 8 in total, or 7, don't make any difference. But if you have the question right and see how the pattern goes, hopefully you enjoyed the video. Click on the like button, click on the subscribe button, visit my math website www.mathfullyexplained.com to find more information about me, my videos, the content. It's content on my YouTube channel called Math Fully Explained, just one word. Thank you for viewing my video. Hope the video helped you. Bye bye.